everybody. So as you can tell from the title, this video is going to be a little bit different than my normal content, but also kind of the same. You know, we'll still be doing planners and stuff. And this is an updated version of this video that I actually did in 2021. And so this is really like the follow-up. I have a lot of new people, and there were some conversations in the comments yesterday that really prompted this. I just wanted to say welcome back, everybody, or welcome if this is your very first time here. If this is your very first time here, it's probably best that we get this out of the way sooner rather than later. This channel is really special to me. This is where I do a lot of planning, but I'm not just gonna shut up while I do it. I've seen a lot of comments where people are asking that people just stick to the planning, just show their planning. And I wanted to talk about that today. So we're gonna flip through May, all of my May spreads since the month of May is over, while I kind of talk about this concept, while I talk about how I feel about this as a content creator, what I feel my responsibility is in this area, and kind of expectations for this channel, where I stand on things, and all of that. I will say, I'm not gonna argue with you in the comments. I absolutely am not. I am going to block and delete if needed. This channel is my space. This is my happy place. This is a place that I absolutely adore. I'm not going to go back and forth in the comments. So if you disagree and you feel so strongly about that disagreement and don't have like a desire to stay and hear things, because these topics are going to come up over and over and over and over again, because it is just part of my life. It's part of the world that I live in. It's part of the things that impact my family, my community, my friends, that kind of thing. And I think it's important that we talk about even the hard stuff. So if that's not something that you're up for, I totally get it. And you're welcome to head out. I am not going to change who I am. That doesn't mean also, though, that I'm not willing to have in a different format, a different conversation. If you want to share something with me, that's great. I love that, but I'm not going to be berated in the comments, basically. So if for whatever reason this conversation goes past where my May spreads are, I'll just start at the beginning and I'll just keep flipping through planner spreads until I'm done talking, basically. So in 2021, I made a video very similar to this one. I talked about how planning and life and what's happening in the world aren't separate. I talked about how I wasn't going to stay quiet just to make people feel comfortable, and that is all still very true. I thought maybe we had come to some sort of understanding as a group, but what I'm seeing just based on yesterday and the conversations that were had and the 20 subscribers that I lost, which that just is what it is, totally fine with me. So based on that information, it seems like there may be a bit of a misunderstanding here. So, and maybe it's because there's new people, maybe it's because I've been too quiet. I would absolutely accept responsibility for this as well. It's 2025, and I think it's time for an update based on those messages. Here's the thing. I have been getting so many comments lately with the topics in mind that say things like, can you just keep it to planning? Why do politics, which I don't think very many of these things that I'm going to talk about are political, they're just kind of life things, but can't you just keep politics out of your planning? And let's just agree to disagree. That's one that I've been seeing quite a lot. But in my opinion, this isn't just something that you can agree to disagree about. It's human rights, right? Like, these are basic human right type things, and I can't just agree to disagree, because while I'm sitting here and I'm writing in my planner and I'm making plans, you know, real like huge things are happening. People are dying in Gaza. Queer and trans kids are being targeted. Black lives are still being treated as disposable, and this planet is going through huge, massive changes in the areas of climate change that are terrifying. And finally, women, especially women of color, are losing their reproductive rights left and right. And I'm sure I could go on and on and on about things that are happening in the world. These are the ones that just kind of come to mind. They really hit home for my community. If there's other things that I may have missed on that list, feel free to leave it in the comments below. But again, I get to decide what stays in those comments, and I do moderate them. So remember that this is going to be a safe place. We're not going to argue. We're just going to share and listen to one another. In my opinion, that's not politics. That's real life. And if you think we can plan around that without talking about it, I truly don't know what to tell you. So here's where I stand. I'm a white woman with a platform and a lot of privilege. And I can choose two options. I can choose to sit here and be quiet and plan and give people a quiet escape kind of place, or I can choose to speak up. So I'm going to choose the second option. I'm not going to be quiet. I am going to talk about things that are going to be hard sometimes, because I feel like if you have the ability to speak up and you don't, that silence is basically the same as being complicit or kind of going along with it. I'm not interested in making my content more palatable so that someone who disagrees with human rights can feel more comfortable watching my planner videos. That's not what the space is for. You have to know, though, that I love this community. I love the discussions in the comments. I love hearing about your lives. I love hearing about your routines and your families or your dreams and everything that you have going on with your paper and stickers. I love that. But the world we all live in affects all of that. And ignoring it and pretending like this is like a bubble, right? Outside of that, it doesn't make it go away. I've always been real. I've always been very honest on this channel. I don't think I can just do that. So when people say, just shut up and plan, nobody actually said that. But when you say things like, I don't want to hear about politics, or I don't want to hear about this or that, I just want to see you plan, that's what you're saying. Like, you're saying, just shut up and plan, basically. I'm going to continue planning with a purpose. I'm going to speak with intention. And we talked about earlier that I'm in my ruffling feathers era. So if that ruffles any feathers, good. Let's have the hard conversations. I don't know everything, by the way. I do know a lot. I do know, what I seek out to learn about these kind of things. But if you have ideas that you want to share with me, I'll listen. I may not agree. I may not even be able to have that conversation right then and there, but I'll listen to you. But there does come a moment where listening ends with a lack of acceptance, a lack of understanding, and listening ends when human rights are ignored. So if you're still here, I really thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. I know standing up for your own beliefs is not always the easiest thing to do. So really, I truly thank you for being here. Whenever I say that, I mean it from the bottom, the depths of my soul. You guys are the reason why I made this my very first video. Well, you're the reason why I'm still making videos. You're the reason why I'm making this one. Thank you for being someone who values more than just aesthetics. Thank you for caring about people and not just paper, even though we all have that in common. Because this space, while it seems like it's just about paper, I'd like to think it's also about purpose. So no, I won't shut up and plan. I'm going to continue to speak up, and I'm going to speak with intention, and I'm going to plan with intention. I'll keep making space for hard conversations, and if that makes anybody uncomfortable, then this might not be the space for you, and that's okay. I'm not the content creator for every single person here. That's okay. If you need to find somebody else, that's totally fine. I have never said that I am for everyone, and everyone is not for me, and that's okay. But if you believe that Black Lives Matter, that trans rights are human rights, that women deserve full control over their bodies, and that Palestinian lives matter, and that our planet is worth fighting for, then you definitely belong here. And if you're unsure about where you stand on those things, that's okay too. We're all still learning. But when someone denies science, denies human rights, and uses religion as a shield to hate other people, that I just can't tolerate. If you're with me on those things, you belong here in this chaos, in this messy life with me. So with that, let's keep planning. Let's speak out. Let's share things. Let's continue to connect, and let's keep going. I would like to say that if anyone's feelings were hurt or their feathers were ruffled by this video, I ask that you deeply examine that. The things that I'm talking about are really just providing equity for others and for loving other people And that's what I'm here to do. I do love other people, and I even feel like I have compassion and even empathy at times for people who not only don't share the same views as me, but work to make things more challenging and ugly for people in the situations that I talked about. I have some empathy for them. I try to have understanding, but I've seen so many people that I love get hurt by these actions, and I just can't sit by and be quiet when so much is happening all around me. Like I feel at times a bit helpless, and this space is not only for my planner, but it's not like a therapy session, but I often feel like I'm sitting and talking with friends, and I hope that you all feel that, know that, and that's how I view this channel. You guys are all my friends, and you know, if we were in real life, we'd be sitting around a table with our planners, and you know, we'd probably be talking in real life about hard things. So I know that a lot of things that I touched on can be very triggering, can be very hard topics to grapple with, but again, I'm not going to argue with you in the comments. It is what it is. This is what I think. This is what I believe. This is what I've learned through science, through understanding and loving humans. Yeah, this is me, and I hope that you'll stay, but I understand if you can't. I hope that one day we can find that level of understanding. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for understanding that I'm not ever gonna just shut up and plan. So thanks for being here. If you're still here, have a great day. If you are new, hi, my name is Caitlin. I would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button down below and follow along. I don't know how many people are gonna do that, but I do hope that you'll be here and you'll be understanding, and you'll see that I'm coming from a good place, even though sometimes it comes from a place of anger and hurt. I hope that you'll see that. So thanks so much for being here. And if you are one of my current friends, followers, that kind of thing, and you're still here and you're hanging out and you're rocking with me, I appreciate you so, so much. You are the wind beneath my wings. Like I said, you're the reason why I make these videos. I probably would be screaming into the void anyway, because I don't know what else I can do in this world that we're currently living in, but I love screaming into the void so much more, knowing that you all are there on the other side. I get to read your comments. We get to have great discussions most of the time in the comments section. I have been personally going through quite a lot, so if I am less patient than normal in the comments, yeah, that's probably where that's coming from. And I just have I got a lot of feelings about a lot of these things right now, and some of that's going to come out as anger, and I apologize if that comes out at you, and I'll do my best to take a deep breath before I respond as well, which I don't think I did a very good job of in yesterday's video, but I don't know, I just sometimes can't do that. So I hope that you all will understand, and you guys are the wind beneath my wings, and here is your internet hug for the day. And if you want to find me anywhere else, if you're up for this wild ride, you can check me out on @creatinginchaos_official over on Instagram. I also have a TikTok somewhere in the void. You can check that out. It's linked down below. I'm hoping to start a true crime podcast pretty soon, where it kind of merges planning and true crime and all of my favorite things. So I hope that you'll check that out too in the future when it comes around. I'm also thinking about starting a Patreon where we work on social media stuff. So whether you want coaching on your own social media, whether you would like me to kind of take the reins and manage any of your social media pages, that's something I'm looking at as well. So yeah, I would be happy to discuss that with you. If you don't want to do it inside Patreon, totally get that. I would also be happy to discuss that as well. I do have a rate sheet for those kind of things, so I can send that right over to you if you're interested. Shameless self-promotion. And if you are shopping for any planner things or anything, I do have some coupon codes that are linked in the description box below. And yeah, I think that's it. With that, you guys, by the way, have fun today. P.S. That intro didn't feel quite right on this video, but it's got to happen every video. So just so we're all on the same page. Okay, peace.